today on Divorce Court.
I'm here because my husband is a liar, a cheater, and he don't like me to talk about our issues that he caused and our family.
Talking to each other is basically going downhill. I just think we need somebody to just talk to both of us and see what we both doing wrong. Because obviously we're both wrong in certain situations.
He keep his stuff in, I keep it in, and when it come out, it's just a big old argument, and at that point, nobody's listening to nobody.
Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Jessica Patterson and Terry Patterson. Mr. and Mrs. Patterson, you have been married for 5 years, though you've been together for 9. You have 4 children between you, correct? I mean,
correct.
Together.
Yes.
Okay. Mrs. Patterson, I'm going to start with you. Your primary concern is this man has been cheating with the same woman for years. Why don't you tell me about that?
When I first met him, when we was 14, I was told he was single. Never told he had a girlfriend, none of that. It was just like love at first sight for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
And so years after years, I find out he cheating. And every time I find out who it is, it's the same girl from when we was kids.
Now, Mr. Patterson, do you own that, or does she have it wrong?
She got it all wrong.
Why don't you explain to me what you believe happened?
When I first met her,
Yeah.
I never did tell her. She right about that. That I never did tell her.
You had another woman already.
But I had just let her go.
Okay.
The other woman.
Okay.
So when I met her, I never did explain the situation between me and the other woman.
Mm-hmm.
She went for it. She knew she wasn't my girlfriend. Because I told her she wasn't my
so
girlfriend.
she was the side chick.
Pretty much.
And you told her that?
Pretty much.
No.
No, pretty much.
No.
She knew that.
She knew you had somebody, but she was willing to go with you anyway.
She was willing to go with the flow.
And how long did the flow go?
It was pretty much like within a 3-year span.
3 years.
Off and on.
Now, during those 3 years, did you guys have kids together or did you get married?
We had kids and got married.
And got married. When did you stop completely?
After I had my 3rd child.
After and what changed with baby number 3?
I told her, like, I got tired of the streets. I got tired of the women. And I just wanted to be with my family.
Tired of the streets and tired of the women. Mrs. Patterson,
You're a liar.
You stayed with him a very, very long time, knowing that he was seeing somebody else.
He's a liar.
What made you stay?
Because I did not know until we was teenagers, and a judge sent him to like a juvenile boot camp because we was troubled teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm supporting him, just had his baby, and the girl contacted me and was like, he's sending me letters. And she, back then, that's when MySpace was popping.
Mm-hmm.
So she was posting them on MySpace and stuff. So then I wrote him and I said, oh, I know. Now I know, because he didn't tell me. Like, I knew we was young and he was doing his thing or whatever, but when he asked me, because I asked him not to fall in love with me, so when he asked me to be with him, I'm thinking, we gonna be
You asked him not to fall in love with you?
Yes.
Why?
Because men are not, I don't know, my mom and stuff, when I seen her and my husband, my stepdad relationship, I just didn't want love. I just felt like it was impossible because I don't want a man to treat me no other way than the way I feel like I deserve to be treated. I just didn't want it for myself. I didn't even want a baby. I found out I was pregnant.
You wanted a baby.
And so I told him, I'm gonna pay for abortion. I've been working since I was 14. I had the money to pay for my own abortion. He told me I'm not killing his child. So at that point, I felt like we was starting to build a foundation. He didn't know my family history and I didn't know his. And we actually sat down and told it, and it connected us more and it brought us together. We was like Bonnie and Clyde, stealing cars, out here in the streets, fighting. Like, it was just like a forbidden love. We was in 2 rivalry games. It was just a forbidden love, and we connected with each other, and it was special. It was romantic. It was truthful. Like, we would go steal a car, and I'd be like, oh, I can go get a better car than you. And it was just all like, it was just normal. That's what it was normal for us in the hood. It was just normal.
I take it all that is true, because she couldn't have made that up.
Yeah, it's true. That part is true.
That part is true. So you were road dogs together, Bonnie and Clyde, stealing. Were you in rival gangs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, how did they feel about that?
All my girls was like, you messing with little Terry? And I was like, yeah. And he was kind of find out he was messing with girls in the same gang too. So it wasn't
Well, your
just
gang
one.
members can't be very loyal to you if they were messing with your man.
Like, it was no loyalty. It was just like everybody was just dying and killing each other, and then that's when I was like, I can't do this no more. I gotta get better. I gotta live a better type of life, because I can't do this no more. Everybody just either in prison or dying, and I want to live.
Me too. Mr. Patterson, I take it you bought into that better life scenario, that desire for a life that wasn't based around the streets. Is that true or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I want to talk about...
It's still my bonnet, though.
Yeah. And never lose that little bit of... Quit stealing cars, but, never lose that sense of bonding that it brings. So I want to talk to you about what happened during the marriage that has brought you here.
A family member hurt one of our kids and ended up in prison for it. And I also believe he blames me, but he should not blame me.
Do you... Now, hang on. Just for a second. Give yourself time to think. Do you, in part, blame her just a little bit because it's her family?
No, I blame both of us.
Now, Mr. Patterson, since you made it a family, you have 4 kids, you've been married, what is your primary complaint about Mrs. Patterson that you say is destructive to the marriage?
She's disrespectful.
She's disrespectful. Explain that to me.
I get called all kind of names, except for the child of God. It doesn't matter where we're at. She just, oh, you this, you that, you, whatever. She's a control freak. She like to take my money.
No,
Hang on.
She like to tell me what to wear. If it ain't her way, it's nobody's way. That's just Jessica. That's just the thing she do.
Okay. Now, when these things occur, do you guys fight? Does she hoop and holler? Do you leave? What, it's just an argument all the time.
I just walk out the door, go sit down in the porch for a minute,
he be
come
gone for
back
3
in.
days.
Okay. Now, Mrs. Patterson, do you let the man be an adult? Or do you do things like tell him where to go, what to wear, how much money he should take?
She treat me like the 7-year-old.
Your Honor, no, this is what it is. I'm not trying to raise him. I'm trying to show him something better so he don't have to walk around with his pants still sagging and a long shirt. Look how nice he looked today. I picked out that shirt. I told him this is nice. I try to help him better himself, and I still got to better myself because I don't want to be his mother, but sometimes I feel like I have to be, and sometimes I feel like I play the man role.
So stop trying to be my mama then.
But it's not like that. When we met, it was certain things he knew, certain things I knew. I didn't know how to wash clothes and do all of that stuff, but I did know how to put some shades up, to cut some grass. So I was like the manly part, and he was more feminine. And not saying he's feminine, but it was the role we play, and still to our day-to-day lives, he gets very frustrated to put a bike together. So I be there, I put the bikes together, I hang up curtains.
You're just very handy. You move with tools and stuff.
And he's more, these clothes need to be washed. This room, I want it like this. I want it set up like this. Let me wash these blankets every day. And if I do try to wash the clothes, he like, oh no. What you doing? You got jeans with t-shirts.
Now, Mr. Patterson, it sounds like you guys gotta...
And I'm like, they both colored clothes, so why they can't go together?
It sounds like you got a good thing going. The beautiful thing about marriage is each brings the deficit the other person has to the table. So if she's good at all this stuff and you're good at all that stuff, you come together and everybody can take care of everything. Do you believe it's a feminine role?
I don't believe it's a feminine role, but that's how I was raised. To keep the house clean, cook, wash your clothes. That's how I was raised.
So that doesn't bother you. It's just how she talks to you.
It's how she talk about it while I'm doing it.
Right. Now do you come at him crooked? There's ways to tell people you're not satisfied. There's ways to tell people, oh, maybe we should do it another way. That isn't all crank and crazy.
I don't come at him crooked. I come at him straight because he might have been on make me mad with these girls and stuff. And so when he downstairs trying to cook us a hot meal, I ain't mad at the hot meal or that you're cleaning up. I'm mad at the underlying issue that you won't allow me to talk about because you feel like now that I know, we shouldn't talk about it no more. And then when he say I control his money, I manage everything.
Mr. Patterson, I'm gonna say, she said something really, really, really truthful there. When you hurt a woman with all that cheating, it's gonna come out in one way, shape, or form. And if you say, well, you know about it now, so I'm not gonna talk about it, it's like beating somebody with a hammer. You beat her every day for 3 years with a hammer. And then one day you put the hammer down and look at it and say, why are you still bleeding? Those things have to heal. It takes time. That hurt. Oh, yeah, they do.
It take that long?
Oh, yeah. Especially if you've done nothing to help it heal. You know what I mean?
I apologize. Say sorry.
Yeah. Sorry isn't a... Sorry
I'll take
is...
you to dinner.
It takes more than just a I'm sorry and a dinner. A long time hurt is a long time heal, and she needs long time help. You need to be more loving, more romantic, more caring, more honest about where you're going. Make sure she feels queenly because she has felt like she has been side-checked. See what I'm saying?
I took in my 2 teenage sisters. The state was getting ready to take them.
We can't raise teenagers.
Right.
We
right.
kids ourselves.
Right.
I couldn't even do the things I could do for my own house. I always laid on rent because she needed something. She needed something. I couldn't afford it, so I told her straight up, I'm not doing it. You're doing this on your own.
Mrs. Patterson, I understand you guys have trouble keeping your respective families out of your business. Why don't you tell me about that?
Okay, I took in my 2 teenage sisters because at the age of 18, because my mother couldn't be a mother and the state was getting ready to take them. He know how I feel. I know how I feel to be in state custody being passed around. So I asked him, can we take my sisters in? And we both got up, ran out there, got them. Police.
We both ain't do nothing.
Well, he got in the car. He wasn't.
I'm gonna get to you. Don't worry about it.
He felt like no. We got our own. At the time I was pregnant, we had 3 kids. We got our own 2 kids. We had our own kids to raise, and it's just gonna be too much. And we was already struggling because they was, they was teenagers. They was rebellion teenagers, which I felt like they just needed a little bit guidance. They just needed a little bit help, the same help that I needed when I was their age. So I put them in counseling. I put them in this, and he felt like all that time I was giving to them and the children, I should have been giving to him. But at the same time, I felt like these are my sisters.
Sisters, and you had an obligation.
And I was obligated. Nobody else wanted to.
I got you. Mr. Patterson, why don't you tell me how you felt about that situation?
I didn't like it because, like I say, they teenagers. They set in their ways. We have our own family to raise. We can't raise teenagers.
Right.
We kids ourselves.
Right, just above teenage by a little bit.
We kids ourselves.
And economically, was it an issue as well?
Money-wise?
Money-wise,
Everything
yeah.
was hard.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't even do the things I could do for my own house. I always laid on rent because she needed something. She needed something. I couldn't afford it, so I told her straight up, I'm not doing it. You're doing this on your own.
I'm working 2 jobs, taking care of 3 kids, pregnant, on the bus, taking care of 2 teenagers, backwards and forth out of juvenile courts, backwards and forth out of doctors, therapists, and all it is because I love my sisters, and at the same time still trying to help him get over the issues that he was dealing with.
You had been in state custody for a while. You both had.
For years.
For years.
And it got to a point where when I took my sisters in, nobody else in our family could watch our children because a family member hurt one of our kids and ended up in prison for it. And I also believe he blames me, but he should not blame me.
Do you now hang on just for a second. Just give me a little. Just give me time to give yourself time to think. Do you in part blame her just a little bit because it's her family?
No, I blame both of us because
you didn't see it.
As being a parent, that particular day we weren't being responsible.
Here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying. You guys were behind about 79 8 balls. And somebody in your family took advantage of your child. You were doing the best you can, and I know you feel responsible because you're the parents. The person responsible for that was that whoever who did it.
Right.
Do you understand? And I think you guys were trying your best. I don't think it was a matter of neglect on either one of your parts. And I know, you know, as a parent, you're always going to feel guilty for not, you know, keeping the world away from them. But I'd like to sit down and talk to you about how to do some things, though. Because I think you should stay married. And I think you should work on some things. But I think you need some help, and I'd like to give that to you. Would you be willing to listen?
Oh, yeah, I need the help.
Absolutely. I'm going to adjourn, and we will reconvene in my chambers.
Okay.
Terry and Jessica, I wanted to bring you back here because I like you guys. Life has thrown you every curveball it possibly could. You never had a chance to have a solid upbringing, and every problem, every issue that young people can have and that often level young people didn't level you two. Instead of going crazy, you two went together. You formed a marriage, a bond. You are raising your children together, and you're helping out with your sisters. That's a lot of pressure for somebody so young. And I want to tell you how impressed I am that you guys are holding it together. But I know it's difficult. But I really wanted someone in authority to say that authority just isn't a problem for you, but that I see the greatness in what you're doing. Jessica, is there something you want to say, something you want me to address, or something you want to tell him in the comfort of this moment?
Yes, I feel like he don't communicate with me, and I feel like when I do come in and I just want a straight answer, I should be able to get that straight answer. I shouldn't get this, or it's old. I don't want to talk about it.
Now let me ask you this: what is your approach when you ask him that question?
Angry.
Angry. See, there you go. You've killed yourself in the beginning. You can always control your emotions.
Right.
You just have to take the time to do it and believe that it is worthy of it. He's worthy of it. He's worthy of that extra 1 minute that you take to say, take it down, I need something, I'm going to request it. And what are you going to do when she requests?
Look crazy.
But agree, that's wonderful. That's a great husband response. You're going to listen, and then you're going to talk about it. You don't have to agree, but you just have to listen and talk about it. Is there something that you need in the piece of this moment that you would like to address to her?
The disrespect. I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
Sick of it.
I understand that.
Yeah. The all-day attitude thing is the worst thing that you can come in a house with, male or female. It puts a nasty tone in everything. But this is a hallowed place, that you two are special. And you should always conduct your business as if you are. You know how, like, when you go to church, you don't go in there, you hot, mad, whatever. You don't hoop and holler. Right. You know, this is a holy place for y'all. Because it's where your love lives. It's where your children live. And whatever pressure you're under, you can share it, but take that moment to take it down. I'm gonna give you 2 books. One is about controlling your emotions. It's called My Mother's Rules. And I'm gonna give you one, Making Marriage Work, which helps you learn how to speak man and him speak woman. It's all a work in progress. And I'm here for you.
Yes, ma'am.
And you heard what I said.
Yeah.
And I meant every word of it. I meant every word of it. Impressive people. I wish you the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And keep it strong. You got it going on.
Thank you.
Thank you.